So in this video, we will learn how to create an applicant in Freshteam from Google Form responses. Now suppose guys, you have created a Google form and you have shared that from across multiple platforms. So all the candidates who are interested to apply in your organization can enter their details in the form and submit it. And you want that all the candidates who are applying, you want to add those candidates as applicants in your Freshteams. So you use Freshteam to manage all your HR related activities. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be form submission in Google Form, and the action will be creating a new applicant in Freshteams on the basis of form submission what we get. So guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on the Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get the free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give your workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Google Forms to Freshteam. And then just click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is first we have to get the details or the data of form submission from Google Forms in Pabbly Connect. So we have created a form in Google Form, for example, and we are sharing that form with all the applicants. So the applicant can enter their details and fill the form. And on the basis of that form submission data, we want to add that applicant into our Freshteams as a new applicant. Now to do so guys, to begin with, first we have to connect Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So here in trigger window, in choose app, search for Google Forms. Select Google Forms over here. And after that, in trigger event from the drop-down, select new response received. So after selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. And now we are going to use this webhook URL to connect our Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. So guys, as you all know that the responses of form submission data of Google Forms stores into a Google Sheet. So what we are going to do, we are going to connect that Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. Let me show you. So this is the form which I have created in Google Forms, and in this form I'm asking some basic details from the applicants like their first name, last name, email, mobile number, gender and the position for which they are applying for. So this is the form, and after this questions tab on the right side we can see this responses tab. Just click on it and here you can see the spreadsheet icon. Just click on it and select create a new spreadsheet and click on create. Now, as we click on create, in a new tab, a Google Sheet, a Google spreadsheet opens up. And this is the exact same sheet in which our form submission data, our form responses are being stored. So here guys, from this sheet, we are going to send the form submission data to Pabbly Connect. Now to do so, just go to extensions, add-ons and click on get add-ons. So as we click on get add-ons, we will reach to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in search app, you have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Pabbly Connect webhooks. So as you can see, Pabbly Connect webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheet. You just have to install this same add-on into your own Google Sheet account. And after that, you just have to refresh your Google Sheet once. This is a very important step. And after refreshing it, just go to extensions and this time you can see Pabbly Connect webhooks. This add-on can be seen over here. Just hover on it and click on initial setup. After clicking on initial setup, this box appears in front of us and it asks us 3 basic things. First one is the selected sheet, second one is the webhook URL and third one is the trigger column. So in selected sheet, it has automatically detected the sheet in which our form submission data is being stored. After that, in webhook URL section guys, we have to paste the exact same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy it from here and paste it over here in this field. And after that, in trigger column guys, we have to select the trigger column. So you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? Now guys, the trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. Now suppose guys, here in the background for example, column G will be my trigger column, because it is the last data entry column of my Google Sheet. After column G, in any of the column, none of my data exists. So I will be entering column G as trigger column. According to your spreadsheet, according to your Google form, E, F, G, H, I, J, any column could be your trigger column. You just have to ensure that it is the last data entry column of your Google Sheet. And after entering all of those details, just click on submit. And as you click on submit, it is showing us setup configured successfully. So we have successfully made the connection between our Google Form or Google Sheet should I say and Pabbly Connect. After this, once again go to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks and click on send on event. So by selecting send on event guys, we are telling this Google Sheet that whenever in a new row, a new form submission data has been added in this sheet, whenever we are going to receive a new data from Google Forms, a new form submission, instantly automatically send that data to Pabbly Connect. This is what send on event do. And right now guys, the connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect is completed. Now every time we receive a new form submission in Google Form, automatically the data of form submission is also received inside Pabbly Connect. And we are going to do the same. So in this form, we are going to make a test form submission. So we are just going to copy the link of this form, just copy this URL, go to a new tab, paste it over here, and enter the details of a dummy applicant. For example, the name of this user is dummy user. Then let's enter the email address. This is the email address, just a second. And then let's enter the mobile number of a user as well. So this is just a dummy mobile number over here. Select the gender, for example, male, and applying for the position. So all the positions for which we have the openings, we have the vacancy for, we have listed all of these positions over here. So for whatever position they are applying, they are going to select that position over here. Just select this position and then just click on submit. So as the user clicks on submit, the application is being submitted in our Google form. And because the responses of this Google form are stored in a Google Sheet, we can see that we can see the same form submission data in this Google Sheet as well. And also because we have connected this sheet with this Google form with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL, we will see instantly, automatically this data, this response is being sent to Pabbly Connect as well. So here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we can see that the response is being received. And in this response, we can see the same details. Here we have the same mobile number of the user which they have entered. We have their last name, gender, first name, email, and for the position they have applied for. So in this way, guys, we have received the form submission data from Google Forms in Pabbly Connect. And the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. Now let's move to step 2 and send these details of a new applicant from Google Forms to Freshteam. For that, just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in Choose Apps, search for Freshteam. And after selecting Freshteam, click on Action Event, and from the drop down below, we have to select the action event as Create an Applicant. Just select this action event, click on Connect, and select Add New Connection. So here guys, we have to connect our Freshteam account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the account name of our Freshteam account and the API token. Now to get the account name, you just have to log into your Freshteam account, and in the URL section, before .freshteam and after https:// this is the account name of your Freshteam's account. Just copy this name from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. After that, it is asking us for the API key. Now to get the API key, just go back to your Freshteam's account. On the right side, click on this profiles option and click on API key button over here. Of course, I'm not a robot, just select it, and here you can see the API key. Just copy this API key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here and click on save. So as we click on save, we can see that the connection between Freshteam and Pabbly Connect is completely done. After making the connection, the first thing it asks us is the job title. And in the drop down below, we can see a list of all the jobs vacancies which we have created in Freshteam can be seen over here. So we will go to a Freshteam account, we'll go to recruit section. And here you can see that all of these job vacancies, job profiles we have created for which we are looking for candidates for applicants. And the list of all of these 3 job vacancies we have also created in our Google Forms as well. So the first thing which we have to select, we have to enter over here is that for what job we want to create this applicant. But guys, because we have created multiple job vacancies in our form, the applicant is going to choose that for what job they are going to apply. And that is why the text of this job title is going to be a dynamic text. So we will be getting from Google Forms that what is the job in which we want to create the applicant. So if we select from the drop down, it is going to be static for each and every applicant, but we want it to be dynamic. For that, we just have to turn on this mapping button in front of us. And as we turn it on, here you can see that instead of job name, which was showing us earlier, it was showing us the job name over here. As we turn on the mapping button, it is showing us job ID. So here guys, what we have to do, we have to mention the job ID of the job, of the vacancy, of the position which user has selected in Google Form. So we have received the Google Form response in Pabbly Connect over here. So we have to basically get the job ID for this particular job or particular position for which the user has applied. Now, how you can get the job ID? For that, here in Freshteam, guys, as you open your particular job, particular position, here in the URL section, you can get this position or the job ID for this particular job or position which you have created. So in this way, you can basically get the job IDs for all of these fields, all of these positions or job which you have created. But how you can add this data in this automation workflow? How you are going to ensure that whatever position the user selects while submitting the form, whatever data we get from Google Forms as the submission, for that particular job, the job ID should be mapped over here. For that, we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect, that is lookup table. Just click on this add action step button before Freshteam, and here in choose app, search for lookup table. After selecting lookup table, in action event, once again select lookup table and click on connect. Now after this, it is asking us for the lookup key, that for what key or for what value we are going to search for data. So here the lookup key will be the applying for position, for the position for which the users are applying, that position will be the lookup key. So we have to basically map this response of job position, job response over here in this lookup key. Just click on this field, and in the drop down below from the responses of Google Form, we can see all the responses which we have received. We have to select the response of applying for position. So here we have this response. After that, here it is asking us fallback value. So here in fallback value, guys, we have to enter the text, the data which we want if this response is blank. If you don't get this response, if it is blank, then what data should be received or what data should be sent in the response. So because our field in this Google form is this field is mandatory, user have to select this position. That's why we are just going to keep on getting this response. So let's ignore the fallback value, and here we have to create a lookup table. So in this lookup table, guys, in labels, we are going to enter the exact text, exact position, exact vacancy name, which we have entered in our Google form, the data or the response which we are getting from Google form. And in front of it, in value, guys, we are going to mention the job ID of that particular job of that particular position in our Freshteam account. So let's begin over here. For the example, applying for position of, we are just going to enter our first position name. For example, in label, this is a digital marketing strategist. And in front of it, we are going to enter the value. So to get the job ID of digital marketing strategist from our Freshteam account, just open it. And here in URL section, you can see the job ID. Just copy it from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. Click on this plus button on the right side. Once again, a new table, a new field will be added. And second time over here, we are going to enter the details of app developer iOS. We are just going to enter the exact name over here, which we will be getting from Google Forms in response. And in front of it, we are going to enter the job ID from our Freshteam account for that particular position. So app developer iOS, let's open it. And this is the job ID. Copy it from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. Click on this third button, and you have to add or follow the same process for all the positions for which you are getting applications or which you have added in Google Forms. Just paste it over here. Let's get the data for sales manager as well. Sales manager. And this is the job ID. Just copy it from here and enter it over here. So this lookup table works like whatever data we get from Google Forms, we have mapped that data in this lookup key. So on the basis of this lookup key, we are going to get the response according to this table. So for example, here we have received the data in lookup key, we have received the data as app developer iOS. So here in Pabbly Connect, guys, in this lookup table, it is going to search for the response or the value of this particular field, that is app developer iOS. And in response, we are going to get the value in front of it, which we have entered. So let's click on save and send test request. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that because we have mapped App Developer iOS over here, in response, we have received the value of App Developer iOS, whatever data or the value we have entered in this lookup table. So in this way, whatever position the user or the applicant is applying for, or whatever position the applicant is selecting in Google Forms, on that basis, guys, we are going to get the job ID of that position. And after getting this data, this response of job ID over here, we are going to map the same job ID or job title over here in this field of job title. Now, because we have added some new data before Fresh Teams, click on this Connected button, select Existing Connection and click on Save. We just have to reconnect our Fresh Teams account. Then turn this mapping button on once again, clear this response, and this time just click here, and from the drop down below, from the responses of lookup table, select this response of result value and map it. So whatever job profile, whatever position the user is applying or selecting in Google Forms, for that same position using this lookup table, we are going to get the job ID, and we have mapped that job ID over here. After this, we have to map the data, other details like first name, last name, email and all. Just click on this field, and from the drop down below, from the responses of Google Form, select the response of first name and map it over here. Then click on this field of last name, and from the responses of Google Form, from the drop down below, select the response of last name and map it. Middle name, mobile number, phone number, owner ID, all of these fields are not mandatory, so you can ignore these fields as well. Now next field is email, and it is a required field. So from the drop down below, map the email address of the applicant, and also we have received the mobile number, so we are going to map the mobile number. The phone number and owner ID is not mandatory, so we are going to ignore it. Then it is asking us for the source ID, that from what source we have received this new applicant data. And in the drop down below, we can see there are different options over here. So let's take an example of HR consultancy. We are getting this data from HR consultancy, and the source category ID is, for example, let's search for it. For example, let's search for portals. So basically, you can select anything from this dropdown according that where you are sharing this Google form. Then it is asking us for the gender, and gender is also going to keep on changing for every new applicant. So we are just going to turn this mapping button on, clear this response, and from Google Forms, we have received the response of gender as well. And we are going to map that same gender over here. So in this way, we can see that all the details which we have received from Google Forms of the user details or the new applicant data, we have mapped all of those details over here. After all of this, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here we can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the user whose details we have mapped over here, basically the applicant who has entered their detail in our Google form and submitted the form, using this automation, automatically with the same details, we have created a new applicant in our Fresh Teams account. So let's check. We are going to get back to Fresh Teams, and we'll go to this recruitment section. And we have selected App Developer as the position while making this test form submission. So we are going to search for the same position. And yes, guys, here you can see that dummy user, same applicant whose details we have just now entered while making the test form submission, the same user has been created as a new applicant in our Fresh Teams account. So we have the same name, same email address, same mobile number, same details which they have entered. So in this way, we can see that the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now, every time we are going to get or receive a new form submission in our Google Forms job application form, automatically using those details, we are going to create a new applicant in Fresh Teams as well. So after setting up this automation, guys, what we have to do, we just have to test this automation once in real time. Now to test this automation, guys, we are just going to make another form submission. So let's enter the details of our applicant as test Pabbly. This is the name. This is the email address of the applicant. Let's enter another mobile number. Okay, sorry. This is not the email address. This is the last name. Last name. This is the email address. Let's enter the mobile number as well. And after that, let's select the gender this time as female and click on the applying for position of, for example, digital marketing strategist. We are selecting this position and click on submit. So the form has been submitted, and as this form has been submitted, instantly, automatically using this form submission data, a new application has been created in Fresh Teams. So let's go to jobs, and digital marketing strategist. For this position, we have applied. Just open it. And yes, here you can see that test Pabbly, the same user, the same application is being created instantly in our Freshteam's account. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now, every time we are going to get a new job application or request or new form submission in Google Form, automatically from that data, you can create applicants in your Freshteam's account and manage it over there. So not just these applications, guys, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow. And also, let me tell you that Pabbly Connect comes with a forever free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.